Let me say, first off, thank you to those of you who have booked a session with me. I appreciate the build and appreciate you guys supporting the channel through your sessions. So if you were interested in booking a session or just curious about your own natal chart, like what to look for in your own natal chart, these are some of the things I look for. First off, I also take into consideration how old a person is, because our natal chart is almost alive in the sense that it grows with us, and certain aspects don't manifest for us until later on or through certain transformative and pivotal times in our lives. So my natal chart, when I was reading it in my early 20s, I interpret it way different now that I'm in my 30s. And life experiences have altered my perception of how to interpret the influences of some of these planetary bodies. So that is what I take into consideration. What phase are you in your life? And I also utilize the numerology, your numerology chart, to see what phase you are in your life, like your personal year number and your life path number, and how that's influencing you in your 40s or in your 50s or your 20s. So I take those things into consideration. I also look at the personal planets. I look to see where Mars, Venus, and Mercury are, not only in your natal chart, but what are the current transits? What are the current transits of these planets? What transits are these planets currently making throughout your houses? What are they aspecting? Because this affects what you're currently going through. So if you're like, Umi, I'm having all of these crazy, bizarre relationships right now, and my last partner did this, and I don't know what's going on. And I look at your natal chart, and you have, Venus aspecting Uranus in your 8th house, and you're having all of these sort of bizarre encounters or new and transformative sexual experiences, or things may be opening up to you because of this current transit that you hadn't experienced before. So I look to see where the personal planets are and what they're doing, the current transits. I also look at Chiron. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. And for many people, where they experience a lot of challenges or struggles is in areas where you're great at helping other people or being in service to other people. For example, you may be great at helping other people lose weight and giving them a lot of nutritional health advice, or helping people to stay motivated about health conscious living. But you may struggle with some debilitating health problem, or hair loss, or chronic pain, or something to do with your own health could be jeopardized or really create a lot of problems for you. And you may even keep it hidden because of that. You may feel like, how is it that I'm so good at helping other people, but I struggle with this in my personal life? So for some of you, you come to these sessions with that issue of what is going on? I'm great at this for other people, but in my personal life, my own relationships suck, but I'm always great at giving good relationship advice or helping other families stay together. So this is something to consider. Where is Chiron in your natal chart? Where is the North Node? This is our motivation and our sort of ambition for growth that can be identified through our natal chart, and help us find a sense of purpose. Help you, if you're someone who's like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what career I'm going to be good at. I have no idea. This can be identified. It's not funny, but I know that feeling of what the hell am I here for? I remember asking the universe, look, I'm very specific. I prayed, fasted, done X, Y, and Z. I don't really know what I'm good at. And lo and behold, the very thing that feels natural, the very thing that I enjoy just kind of naturally, that I didn't think had any real value or any real, practical, I couldn't practically do this thing and support myself or my family. I was wrong. It's we have to accept the truth of our gifts, our abilities, our purpose, by getting out the way, and sometimes even getting confirmation through other means that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You just have to find a way to creatively make this your thing, make this your career or your profession or your service to humanity, whatever it is. So I look to see where, in your natal chart, our best friend Pluto is. I always check, where is Pluto? What is Pluto doing? Pluto's I have to keep an eye on Pluto, because I feel like this is where our deepest transformations will happen. And if you're not prepared, it could take you out, both literally and figuratively. So I don't think it's a bad thing either way. I know that sounds crazy, but in all honesty, if life is reaching a point where we're coming or drawing close to the end of life, even for someone who's up in age, it would be wise to make use of the time remaining in your life to live your best life, to be who you are, to really step up, to really shine your light. So it could be a benefit to know where life is threatened, so to speak, by Pluto. And in a figurative sense as well, when you realize like, man, Pluto is about to start aspecting my second house that has to do with, the things I value, or money that I get from other people, or my sense of security when it comes to material things, or my finances. But with Pluto there, plan on having some type of demolition when it comes to the things you put a sense of security in, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to the resources that you once received all of your financial gains from. All of these things may suddenly and abruptly change. So for some people, it could have such a devastating blow or devastating impact to their finances that they lose it, or they lose their family, or they feel like they've lost everything. But it's intended for us to understand or value things differently, and then begin to rebuild or to regenerate what was lost, or to shift our perspective on what we value. Maybe losing everything help you realize you didn't value this to begin with. Like, wow, none of that was bringing me real joy anyway. Now I'm free from that house or that car, and I travel more, or I spend more time doing the things I love without the worry of maintaining a huge house or expensive cars. So knowing where Pluto is can really help to reveal areas of our life where we can experience abrupt changes or devastating loss or huge transformations. And the same is with Uranus. I look to see where Uranus is. I look at the whole natal chart. I know I'm running through all the planets, but I look at the whole natal chart. But depending on what question you ask when you schedule your session about your personal life, I will look to see where certain planets are and what they're aspecting. So Uranus is one of those planets. It's a long transiting planet. So because we just had Uranus move into Taurus, I'll look to see what house does that fall in for you, where you're going to experience the most changes for yourself in the next 7 years, and what to anticipate so that you're prepared. Astrology is a tool of preparedness. So it's not necessarily about predicting the details of how your life will unfold, but it's almost like seeing the clouds in the distance and saying it would be smart to grab an umbrella. Whether or not it rains, we don't know. The clouds may just go right on past you, but you're prepared. So I like to lend insights and ways to help you prepare, and also see where your strengths are, where are your talents, where are the things that is a gift to this world. Like, that can be revealed through the astrology, but for the most part, it's going to come from your own intuitive acceptance of that thing. So someone could have read my chart when I was 20, 21 and said, oh girl, you're so intuitive, you're going to do this when you get older, or people are really going to resonate with your counseling ability, or blah, blah, blah. I probably would have like, oh, okay, but that's, I was into like fashion and makeup and photography and certain things when I was in my 20s. I wouldn't have thought twice about some lady telling me what I might be good at. But as I've aged, I can see that those gifts in me are beginning to manifest, and I find myself engaging in more conversations, esoteric, metaphysical conversations, talking to people about occult studies and things like, the taboo. And the more I begin to accept that this is more who I am, and it's coming more to the surface, I could have tried to bury it and cover it and hide it, but it wasn't serving me to do that. It was very limiting and suppressing and painful. So in accepting that part of me, I'm stepping more into a position of not only freedom, but authority in certain areas, because this is what I've accepted about myself. So for many of you, that's what it's going to be about. That authority I'm referring to is not being so heavily influenced and controlled by outer experiences or outside influences and people, even planetary influences. The transcendental knowledge is what allows you to not be so heavily influenced by things outside of self. But you have to have an acceptance and an awareness of self. So when I look at your natal chart, I'm looking to see where the sun is. This is the area where you will shine. For example, the sun is in my fourth house when I was born. My natal sun in the fourth house is where I will shine most throughout my life. And it wasn't something that I really understood or resonated with. Like, how will I shine in the home? You know, what am I supposed to do in the home? And I really couldn't integrate my ambition and drive for professional success, Capricorn, Pluto in the 10th house. I couldn't really integrate that energy with the home. You know, the home felt so stationary and dull. But with Uranus entering into transiting my fourth house, what it has awakened for me is, wow, a new way to integrate my home into what I do. So I've been sharing more videos that are not only kind of out of my comfort zone, very different, sudden and abrupt Uranus. Through my fourth house, I'm now sharing these sort of videos where I'm taking my time spent at home, adding some humor to it, and also sharing with people tips on, you know, wellness and things like that. So this is how I'm able to integrate, and it's taken me damn near 33 years. Well, I didn't have a family when I was a child, but as far as my home life, it's taken me the last, 10 or 12 years to really see how can I apply my home life into my profession and purpose, and this be an area where I shine. So I look to see for you, where can you shine, or how can you shine in this area if your sun is in the 7th house or the 2nd house or the 12th house even. So I wanted to share that with you all, what I look for in your natal chart. The purpose of our sessions is to build, to help you to grow, see things from a new perspective, share your ideas, be more transparent and raw about how you feel. Because for most of you, you can't express yourself openly to your family. Like, Mom, damn it, I want to study the occult. I want to do tarot readings on YouTube. I want to do divination. Like, all of that is utterly taboo, especially if you are in a religious environment or your family is very structured in that sense that they don't adhere to anything outside of what, your religion or your religious traditions provide. So for many of you, it could be difficult and confining and very stressful to try and be who you are and acknowledge your gifts, or step out of your comfort zone, or explore new things when you're in an environment where people don't understand you or limit you, or you can't talk to your family other than certain conversations. Like, you show up at the cookout, you say hi, smile, greet everyone, but other than that, there's no one there that you can like, hey, what's up? I don't know, Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn right now, blah, blah, blah. Like, you might want to have more of these open conversations, but they just don't seem available to you. So those are some of the things I look at. You can schedule a session with me through my website at umispeaks.life. You can send an email and rant about your life, and I will read it and respond. That is info@umispeaks.life. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you are enjoying these Leo energies. You're working hard to round out 2019 with a bang. So if you're going through some issues and challenges and stuff going on, and just stay calm. The coming months are going to pour in a lot of positive energy for all of us. This is a transitional period astrologically, as we're undergoing like not only a revelation of sorts, on a microcosm. The humans on this planet are going through this sort of revelation of events that, serve to show us people's motives and people's intentions and people's heart. You're able to see where people are, but also where you are. So as you've began to unpack things and a lot is being revealed to you about you, what will happen from that sense of knowing and awareness is positive changes come from that. So it's the storm before the sunny skies and clear days that are coming. So I just hope that all of you are staying motivated, encouraged. I'm uploading videos as fast as I can. I'm preparing for homeschooling, and I have my other business ventures that I'm working toward, and just doing a lot. So I thank you guys for supporting this channel. And until next time, peace.